Hello, everybody. How are you doing on this fine Sunday evening? I know it's been a little while since we've done one of these. Sorry for missing what? I think it was 2 weeks. Sorry about that. But, we're back in the groove. So Ed should be joining us shortly. But here to talk all about, what's going on in this offseason. A lot of stuff already happening in these couple weeks that we've been away. So we got a lot to talk about. Jump in the chat, direct the conversation wherever you want, and we'll go from there. But as always, before we get too far, let's do our job here and say a big thank you to Caneswear. Caneswear is where you need to go and buy all your Inter Miami gear. They've got 50% off on a lot of merchandise in their entire store from now till the end of the year. So, whether it's Inter Miami gear, which is what we want, what we're pushing, or whether it's University of Miami or Dolphins or Panthers, what have you, they have a lot of stuff, good prices, and a lot going on there. And apologize if I'm a little bit off tonight, but it is what it is. All right, and you want to buy or sell some property? Go and contact Mia Rodrigues, the goat of all realtors. Speaks 3 languages: Portuguese, English, and Spanish. You can give her a call. She can help buy or sell anything. I'm constantly seeing her, posting some new properties and things like that. So follow her on Facebook as well if you want. So go and use Mia for all your needs. So, all right. Well, let's see if Uncle Ed is here. I think he might be. Ed, how you doing?
Peter Brown.
How you doing, sir?
Good, Peter. It's been a little while. We've been on and off with the season ending. But we're here to talk about all the craziness that's happening right now at Inter Miami.
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks, and it kind of bugged me too, because it's like it's one thing to miss 1 week here and there because maybe I have to go to Disney, but 2 weeks in a row don't really enjoy missing that. But 1 week I went to Disney, and the other week, my mom died, so cut me some slack. So, and I'm not saying that I'm just having fun with it, but so. We're back, and luckily, normally, Ed, we'll take like a 2-week break during Christmas, but I felt like there's really no need when the Christmas, for me at least, I don't know about your schedule. I know you're super busy, but when Christmas is like in the middle of the week, it's like, well, I can still do the show on Sunday.
Oh yeah, it's and especially with so much happening, with Inter Miami and Major League Soccer for that matter. There's so much to talk about, so it's kind of like there's stuff to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's start off with, if you want to leave it didn't change like I thought it was supposed to. If you want to leave a voicemail, call 786-474-4435. So you could do that. And let's say hi to those of you that are in the chat with us. First person I see in here, Ed, is Kata, saying happy holidays to everybody. Baldwin is here. What's more exciting than Christmas? Christmas and Hanukkah on the same day. Oh, is it really? Okay. One World, One Goal is here as well. Says she's popping in, so maybe she's not here for long, but as always. Chris Arjun, everybody's favorite photographer. Sports Shorts. Sad to see Campana go. Yeah, we're going to get into that. Esteban Dido, long time, welcome back. The curse of the Moss brothers will kick in by letting go of Henderson. Yeah, that's where I want to start. Specialist ID is here. Mike V. Who are we hashtag firing yet now, Mike? So he's happy Campana was traded. All right. Battered Herons are here. You guys got to go check them out. Farzad Rahil. And that's it for now. Anyways, So Ed, oh wait, hang on. Anthony Ornelas is here as well. Good evening. So to me, the biggest news, okay, so we know Campana's gone. We can get into that, whether it's a good trade, not bad trade, and all that kind of stuff. But before that, Chris Henderson, which was, no surprise. As I was like, it's funny, as I was Googling for an image for Chris Henderson, my thumbnail pops up that I created like, I don't know, 2 months ago, what maybe it was, where I was saying his future is in doubt. And so, we've been talking, this is, long time coming. It wasn't a big surprise, but it's kind of like Inter Miami. I don't know. They bring in the guy. I don't know if their plan was, hey, let's bring in this guy just to get us through the, penalty phase of cheating, right? Because he helped get them through that. So, is that all they really considered him for? Like, that's all he was good for, maybe? Because they pretty quickly got I can't say his last name, but the guy from Barcelona, and then kicked, from what we heard, he kicked Chris Henderson out of his office, and then anytime there was a press conference, it's no longer Chris Henderson sitting there. So this was like no big surprise. But the worst part, and is going to Atlanta, and also that was no surprise because he's reconnecting with his old buddy from Seattle. But Ed, I mean, this could be the biggest mistake, in my opinion, the biggest mistake this club has ever made.
Yeah, you kind of saw it happening, Peter, because little by little he was just like disappearing. Like he wasn't as vocal as he was towards the beginning. Then they put some guy over him. So it just kind of you kind of saw it. It was happening. Then we heard the thing about the office too, that he got kicked out of his office. So I guess what's the guy's name? Raul, I think.
Raul Sanhelli or something like that. Here, I got it.
Let's give the guy a chance. What can we say? We're not thrilled because Henderson had a history with South Florida. He was with the Fusion. He was well liked by by basically everybody. So it's it's kind of sad to see him go. Would have wanted to you got the chance to talk to him. I didn't get a chance to talk to him.
Such a nice guy too. That was just it. He sat at we met with him at the Miami Fusion, podcast reunion right. thing that happened, and he sat with me for maybe 45 minutes, just me talking his ear off. Not even really giving him a lot of time to talk. Me just yapping at him a lot. And my wife was sitting there as well, walked away just like he was the nicest. I mean, he was, so, they were giving away these etched Stella glasses. I gave you one. And, and Chris was making sure we got our glass. Like, he was concerned that, oh, did you guys go and do it? This is super cool. He was in line to get it etched just like every other fan. Just a super, super cool guy. Kata is asking if I was starstruck. What happens in these situations, I don't really get starstruck. I just end up going into almost like interview mode and just talking their ear off. I did it with Marcelo Clore, pissed off other people. Remember? So I don't really get starstruck in that way, but I do end up just chatting them up and stuff like that. Yeah. So,
but Peter, I was like I was saying, it's sad to see him go. We'll give this Raul guy a chance, but he doesn't know much about the league, so I'm kind of worried. I know there's this lady that's in there. That's I think that's her job. She used to work for Major League Soccer.
Megan Cameron, director of player personnel. Yeah, she worked for MLS in the rules kind of department. I don't know exactly the title that she had with MLS, but she was brought in right around the time that Chris was. I can't remember if it was before Chris or after Chris, but it was pretty close together. They both kind of came in. So she'll be the one to make sure we're following the rules. But It wasn't, Chris Henderson's value is not just the fact that he knew the rules. He knows the players in the league. Now, I think a big part of his value is knowing those players in the league and knowing how to maybe find a gem within the league. But this club never did that. They didn't let him really do that a whole lot. I mean, all we ever do is look in Argentina for the most part.
Yeah, yeah, and we've got a couple Paraguayans too, but well, we lost one. We might keep the other one, Rojas. But yeah, the way things are going, I don't, I'm thinking we're probably going to miss a few more players, Peter, um, to make space for we don't know what. But we've got a lot of money for Campana, which we're very sad, especially me because I'm Ecuadorian. Even
All
though
right, we're switching gears. We're switching gears.
I
I'm ready. What am I doing with this, Ed? What am I going to do with
oh,
this?
and I was close to getting one too, Peter. But
What am I going to do with this?
I didn't commit like you did, and you did it when he was number 9.
I did.
So he gave that up. But dude, yeah, it's a lot of people. I see everybody on Twitter, on all these social media. They're all complaining that he's the young guy, and Suarez should have been the backup this year. And instead, giving Campana a chance. They should have. I think they should have gone that way. And me personally, because I think the guy is, it was his time. But if he didn't move, and if they can assure him that he was going to be a starter, then the best thing he could do is move on. He's getting up there in age. I think he turned 24. So yeah, his time was now, and they kept pushing him behind, Higuain, and then Martinez. Why, I have no idea. And then they pushed him behind Suarez. At least two to three I was okay with because those guys could score. But Martinez, I have that was all because Tata loved Martinez. They had a pass together, and he just didn't shine at all. So for me, it was just like every game that he was putting him on, I was like, "Come on, dude, put Campana and not Martinez. Martinez sucks." But it is what it is. Guy's gone. He's hopefully for him things go well, but they need a big roster, a good roster too in New England. So
Yeah.
I'm worried. Now, what I'm worried about is what everybody cries out, defense.
Before we move to that though, it's just like let's hang on a second. Let me see if this will work this time. There we go. It worked this time. Just talk about that because every week we say the same thing. We need defense. But we don't have any names. Talking about this deal alone though, was the Campana deal, in our opinion, as a show, was it a good deal for Inter Miami? And was it a good deal for New England? I'm curious what people think because they got about $2.5 million. They got $2.5 million for him, which is a record-breaking transfer within MLS. I don't know if it's the number one, but I keep saying record deal for general allocation money. So that's $2 million in general allocation money for this year, $500,000 for next year, and then we get an additional international roster slot. So I guess we're getting the one that he uses and another one, and then another
Actually, he
one.
Wasn't using one.
Huh?
He wasn't using an international spot because I think he's a resident.
Oh, okay. Well, we're getting one then, I guess. And then an additional one in 2026. So obviously this team focuses mostly on international players. So those are really, really important. My opinion, I think for Inter Miami, I was trying to find what the purchase price for Campana when we bought him from the Wolves. I couldn't. I did a real cursory glance today. I didn't find it. I spent only a few minutes looking for it, but it seems like a good deal to me for Inter Miami. He's a player that obviously we'd love to have him, but he needs starting time. He needs to get on. He needs to play. He is a starter for I think a good chunk of the teams in this league. I guarantee he starts for New England. But so, I mean, Ed, did you think financially wise, do you think this is a good deal?
I think it was a pretty good deal. I mean, considering he went to a local club, I guess Major League Soccer thought that I don't know why they didn't shop him to a different country. I know that there was some interest in the Netherlands, I would have gotten him out instead of giving him to a team that's going to compete against us.
That's my biggest issue. Why do we always, most of the time, not always, most of the time, we transfer, trade, whatever you want to call it, players within our own division? And so we got to play these teams, what, 2-3 times a year? I'd rather them go play for LAFC or something like that, where we're playing once a year and that's it. But we constantly are transferring players within our division that, now they got a chip on their shoulder every time they play us. So he's going to want to show off every time he comes down here and show what a mistake we made. I don't like that. I think business-wise is probably maybe it was the best offer. I heard his agent was saying there were 4 MLS teams that were interested in him, 4 or 5. And, I guess this is the one that offered the most money. But, go ahead.
There's still also a chance that if he does get bought by some other team, Inter Miami will receive something for it. So they may think it was a pretty decent deal.
Yeah, and they also could receive up to an additional $750,000 in GAM if Campana meets performance-based incentives. So, and then they have a sell-on percent, like you were talking about. I forget the percentage of that. It's in this article somewhere. But if he does well, we do well. As long as he doesn't do well against us. Mike V commenting. Whoa, how'd that end up there? I'm really happy for Campana. He's going to a club that wants him and is excited to have him, and will give him playing time and show him and get. Miami never gave him any respect. I want to pull that up again. I just need to fix this. So, okay. Campana, Baldwin found it. Campana was purchased for $3 million again from the Wolves. So I guess we lost a little bit of money on him, but we got the value out of him. He was one of our top scorers.
And potential for getting more money on him if he gets sold and if he performs well, which I think he probably will, as long as he, find a number 10 to feed him the ball. I think he'll be all right.
Esteban brings up a good point here. Selling to another MLS club gives us GAM. We need that for salary cap. Selling to outside clubs limits GAM. So, yeah, I mean, selling to an outside club helps your bottom line. But if your owners have deep enough pockets and don't care about the bottom line as much, maybe because they're selling a ton of Messi jerseys, they really care about the money that can be used within the club, not to help write the business. So other clubs that sell players, they need that money to help write the business, from the business side. Whereas Miami maybe not so much. So the GAM is way more important to this team.
Right. So, but yeah, and it looks like, guys, staying with Campana. Yeah, I feel I was actually thinking about buying a jersey this coming year. I was like, well, finally, I might as well support the guy from my parents' country. Yeah, Peter actually got one. And now, what are you going to do with that, Peter?
I'll still wear it.
What we should have probably tried to do is get it signed, man. Then it would have been worth something.
Yeah, it's hard to sign a black jersey though. But yeah, there's some pink spots on the numbers. So flip side though, I was reading some comments from New England fans, and a lot of New England fans felt like New England overpaid. That they felt like Campana is overvalued. But then again, if you look at, we're talking about a team that has a lot of GAM. New England had, I think, the most, somewhere around 8 million, somewhere in that neighborhood. They had a ton of GAM to use. So it's like, I guess they were in a position where, they're okay with overspending.
Yeah, well, we'll give them 2 million, whatever.
Yeah, it's monopoly money, right? Baldwin feels like the Reds fans are just clueless. Yeah, well, I mean, they if you look at it from outside, you see they paid $2.5 million for somebody that sits on the bench. You paid $2.5 million for somebody that's not good enough to start. That to me is probably the perspective of somebody from the outside. Now, we don't feel that way, but I could imagine if you're not an Inter Miami fan, you're just looking at the stats and things like that. You're like, well, he didn't start. Yeah, he scored a lot, but he was limited on his, wasn't good enough to start. So
I saw the stat on that, Peter. I think it was something like his goal contributions was like 0.80 or something, almost like that. Per 100 games, not bad.
And I remember sitting there, at games and at times, I don't know if you or Julio or whatever, just saying, Campana doesn't score enough. He doesn't score enough. He's in the slump. But then if you look at the stats,
that was Julio.
For the amount of playing time that the guy has had, he did really good.
Yeah. And I remember somebody was criticizing on one of the WhatsApp groups that we have. Franco Paniza was actually talking bad, saying like that he was bad, that he sucked and stuff like that. Yeah. And I was just like, damn, Franco, but the guy, he actually did well. He was just saying that he's Peruvian, so he was saying that there were other Peruvian players that probably would have done better or that were better, and they were actual cracks. He was saying cracks. They call the really good players. So yeah, he wasn't a Campana lover. I'll tell you that much. We got to get him on the show.
Julio Enriquez asking if you're going to retire the Campana's jersey. Ed never bought one.
Never bought one.
Calls himself. You call yourself an Ecuadorian.
Yeah. I'm kind of hurt because
I think I surprised you when I bought one.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of hurt. The reason I think I haven't done it was for the first time I saw him after one of the games. I wanted to take a picture, and he just kind of ignored me when I wanted to take a picture. So I was like, "Oh, I can't believe he did that." And but I still got a picture.
Yeah.
I kind of like forced his hand. I kind of went around and did it, but I wasn't too happy after that. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna. His parents were actually really nice when I saw him at the award when they were giving the supporter shield. I actually said hello to them, and they were very nice, considering they're almost billionaires too. So that was pretty cool.
Look at this, sports shorts. Remember, he's young, everybody. Campana was the first soccer player I ever knew the name of besides Messi and Ronaldo.
Nice.
Yeah. Esteban Dito saying, let's be real. Campana had no chance with Tata Messi running the show. Well, apparently he has no chance with Mascherano running the show with Messi either.
And Mascherano's going to be getting rid of a lot of people. Well, so far, he's starting to get rid of people that he doesn't want.
Going back, you were trying to segue earlier to defense. That's some of where they got rid of some of that defense. I put Negri in the thumbnail because he found a home, right? So he's going to go to San Diego. But they didn't. He was available because they didn't renew his They declined his option. They also declined Kryvstov, Frede. So that's your defense, right? That they declined offers on in Negri. So
Frede, because he was too injury prone, and Marco had actually brought that up before, that the guy doesn't play that much because he's always injured.
But when he played, he was pretty good.
Yeah, he did play. He was pretty good. But yeah, he just like I said, Marco said the guy's injury prone, and sure enough, he got hurt and didn't play much. And Kryvstov, because he started off pretty well the first year, but he started slowing down, and his gray hairs were showing towards the end. He just did not keep up with the speed in Major League Soccer, and
that's just it.
One of the things that's very true. This league is a fast league. A lot of young guys out there that are going to outrun you, and we may get the best defenders in the world, but what if they're too slow? They're not going to be as good as we want them to.
Well, and that's where we always kind of talked about how much is it the players and how much is it the tactics, because Tata pushed the line up so much that it does put a lot of pressure. And in that case, if you're going to play such a high line, you definitely need speed. in the defense, and definitely we did not have it. Kind of feels like Calendar, Taylor, and Gressel leaving soon. Now there are rumors about Gressel, and that doesn't surprise me. I felt like Gressel could have been one of those players that was taken in the expansion draft because I think he is a good player. And look, he did a lot for Inter Miami as that utility kind of player. Did a lot of things that don't necessarily show up in the stats and all that. But in thinking Calendar and Taylor leaving soon as well. I don't think Calendar's going anywhere. Taylor, it seems like you renew a contract, and that's just kind of the death knell.
And Taylor's good. I'd love to keep him, but I don't know if Mascherano's. I mean, he didn't keep around Campana, who's a young guy, and he's the number 9 that we need. But like I said, it could have been because Campana really needed to leave because he wasn't playing. But now we've got the problem that who's gonna fill in that number 9 spot if Suarez gets hurt. It always looks like Suarez is gonna get hurt. And he's slower than molasses in June, Peter Brown.
Yeah, I mean, we do have the young guy, Afonso. He's got to grow, but right. He's positive, and he's super young. But Miller TV1 saying good night. My name is Ben Miller. I live in Argentina, and I believe that this new stage of Inter Miami should bring a balanced team. So that's kind of, what we've been talking about a little bit. But I still stand by what I've been saying for a while until they prove me wrong. And I just got that weird feeling that I'm going to be proven right, that they're going to spend on bringing in some other big name player, whether it be, I know Pogba's mentioned, whether it be, Neymar. Or some other big name player, and then they're going to go cheap on the defense with young, hopeful, up and coming, or players that are in, say, the Argentinian league or something like that. That
journeyman.
What's that?
They're going to bring some of these old journeymen that might be too slow.
Well, or you're going to bring in the next Negri. They're going to bring in the next Frede. These guys that I had never heard of before, but they have had some modicum of success, I guess, in these other leagues, but they're not on anybody's radar. They're not a name you're going to go, oh, yeah, that's a great pickup. I think that's what they're going to go for. So at the end of the day, it's fine, but you're looking for that diamond in a rough, and,
they're talking about Emerson Rodrigues. Kind of just brought him up. Remember
How
him?
is he still on our books?
I have no idea. It's been a long time, and he hasn't played for Inter Miami in years, but he's still there.
Yeah. What's it? Emerson. What's his last name? Emerson
Rodrigues, I think.
Yeah. He is costing us 380. Oh no, he's on the books, 345,000.
Wow, look at that.
345,000 is one of those, kind of defenders from Argentina, up and coming kind of guys, right? So that's, but how is he? He hasn't played. I mean, what? He played a handful of games on year one? Was he a year one player?
I think he was. I'm not sure if he was.
Or was it year one, 2? But
maybe
early.
Year 2.
And then the next season he played like one game, maybe, and we haven't seen him in a long time. So they can't. That's a player that that they can't sell. They just can't.
He's been around. He's been through a whole bunch of teams. I think one of them was I think it was the Red Bulls. And then he went on to Colombia, and then he went on to. He's been all over the place, but he's been playing. But I guess he's not good enough for Inter Miami.
Miller, who's in Argentina, so he might know some players. Look in lower divisions; they will be good business, my friend. Well, that's where they're probably going to look in lower divisions in Argentina or even the first division in Argentina. Aren't they looking at a first division Argentinian goalkeeper from, is it
Yeah,
Lanús?
from Lanús. Yeah, I think that's the player they're talking about. Would be competition for Calendar. Maybe
Right.
that's what they're seeing. Calendar maybe needs to have some competition to make him a little bit better. But I think he was all right. He
I,
wasn't.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. So yeah, and here Kata says Losada. I'm a fan of Calendar. I know a lot. I see a lot of people dislike him. A lot of people want to see him go. I like him, but I also have no issue with bringing in somebody to push him. And if that person is better, then Calendar should go to the bench. But I still don't see them getting rid of Calendar unless there's some great deal. But they got rid of on those players that they let go. They let go Dos Santos, right? He's gone.
Yeah,
He's
Dos
in
Santos
San
is
Diego.
gone.
They
Yeah.
they let go,
And I thought Calendar would go to San Diego.
right? They let go of Cole Jensen, who was a draft pick. So at the end of the day, I thought they would draft another goalkeeper. They didn't. They drafted, I have that up somewhere. They drafted two players, a midfielder and I think a defender, but two young guys, no goalkeepers. So they no matter what, they need another goalkeeper. Kata feels like the goalkeeper next season will be Losada, Ustari, and Calendar is gone. Get ready. We need three keepers. They always have three keepers. And wasn't that their talk about Ustari going?
Yeah, I thought he was gone already.
Right.
He was retired anyway. They just brought him in to fill in.
Exactly.
They said, "Hey, dude, you think you can still do it?" And he played a game, I think, and did.
He did all right.
Yeah, he was he was a good goalkeeper. He had just retired, and they brought him back and he's like, "Man, I'm going to play with Messi." Hell yeah, he's not going to do it.
I'm in.
Come back for a game. Hey, why not? Give me your money. So he did all right, I think.
Eric Thomas says, I don't understand the Calendar hate whatsoever. I agree. I mean, anybody that wants to say he's suspect with his feet, valid point. I do get nervous when they pass at the back, but it's not only that's the modern goalkeeping position now is you have to play with your feet a lot. And I watch a lot of games where it's shaky. This whole thing, I'm like, can't keepers just pick up the damn ball? I mean, don't stop passing it back to him all the time. If he can't pick it up, I know he can't pick it up when you pass it back, but because I was watching this is definitely a lower division, whatever, but it's still the same philosophy. I was watching Fort Lauderdale United, one of their last games, and they're doing that same thing. They're passing back to the keeper. One, the keeper's not the best. Two, sometimes the pass backs are weak and you put the keeper in a bad position and it's not the keeper's fault. But I was watching that game and I was just like, oof, it was ugly, and so I don't know. Kata just feels like, and I know Tank feels this way too. Calendar is not a leader or organizer of his defenses. I mean, that may be true.
He may have not been too vocal. Maybe that's probably one of the reasons. A lot of people feel the goalkeeper should be the guy keeping people organized.
He's the defensive captain, basically.
Right. Mm-hmm. But Dos Santos was better with his feet. You could tell when he was out there playing, he would they passed the ball to him. He felt a little more comfortable because I think he played before in the field. Now he wasn't just a goalie, period. But Calendar.
But he
probably work on that.
He went over to San Diego, right? And he's going to be a backup though. He's not going to be the starter. I doubt.
I thought for sure Calendar would go to San Diego. He'd probably be the starter for them. But Dos Santos up there, I'm surprised.
You never know. There could have been offers for a Calendar. It's just that I would think that Miami might have put a high price tag on him. There's constantly conversation. So, here, I agree with Rick A. throw it out to the sidelines before throwing a bad pass to the keeper. And you see that so much, throwing a bad pass to the keeper. I mean, the old days, you didn't do that as much. Now that just seems to be the modern kind of way, they expect keepers to play.
And they want to hold on to the ball and not just give it away, like throwing it out.
Here, Eric brings up a point. I don't know if I fully agree with it. How can he organize the defense when nobody speaks the same language as him? He's not the best with his legs, but the cornerbacks suck on this team. Well, that's true. I don't think the language is as big of an issue as you might think, because they learn soccer language. So years ago, I became fairly good friends with Zinho, famous Brazilian soccer player on that 1994 World Cup team. He was playing for Miami FC and eventually became the coach for Miami FC. I became friendly with him. And we would ask him, like, how's your English? And he basically told me he had soccer English. So he knew key phrases, key words to talk to his team members. So the same thing could go to Campana. To Calendar. No key phrases in Spanish to organize your defense. That's not that difficult. I do it with my Brazilian family. I've got for this month, I've got my mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and a niece, all from Brazil. 2 out of the 3 don't speak English. My niece is actually doing really well, but the 2 of them don't speak English, and we communicate. They know a couple of words in English. I know a couple of words in Portuguese. We figure it out. The rest is kind of sign language. Calendar can do the same thing. So I don't know if the communication is as much of a problem, because he's not going in there and giving a speech, right? He's just like, center, right post, left post, and vice versa. The Latino players can learn a few English words and meet somewhere in the middle.
Exactly.
Eric Thomas does feel that there's a market for Calendar. If Calendar leaves, it's Inter Miami's detriment. I would agree there's a market for him. I would think that if anybody's interested in him, Inter Miami's probably put a pretty nice price tag on him, because they, feel strongly about him as well. Even if they move him to the bench, they probably still feel pretty strongly about him. Esteban says, language is not a barrier when playing football on the pitch. Let's not make language an issue where it does not play a big factor. I agree. Like I said, I think they all figure it out. That was the conversation I had with Zinho, basically. Oh, Stanzi is coming in. I agree that language is not necessarily the problem, but his personality doesn't match the rest of the team. Being zen and grounding is great, but Latin players can't relate to that. They can't relate to him walking the field with his bare feet so he could be one with the earth. He does that.
Yeah. Peter, now that we've got some players that have left, and some people at the front office too that are leaving, what other player do you think is probably the next one to get butchered?
Well, I think the name Gressel, it being thrown out there, is probably a good one. I think they'd I think they would be foolish if they let Taylor go.
Yes, he's too good, man. And he didn't play that much too, so that kind of him and Campana were guys that I think should have been starters, but just didn't get the chance because, damn Tata.
Baldwin says Tata disagrees with. Well, Tata's gone. I think Messi disagrees too. No Spanish, probably no Argentine. Gone. I mean, not everybody on the team speaks Spanish, but quite a few, for sure. Quite a few. But I don't know if there's any other big names to go. They've already cleared up a lot of space. They got to start bringing people in.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a big name that's leaving, Ed? Like somebody that would surprise you?
They just said that Jordi Alba's staying. Suarez, of course, signed. Probably the first.
They're here.
Yeah, Messi looks like he's doing the extension thing, so we'll probably see him towards the end of his career. And as far as the big four, I think they're good. From what I heard, we've got that extra DP spot, so
No,
You
well,
know,
how do you have an extra DP spot? Let's talk about
well,
that.
because there's supposedly only Messi and what's his name, Busquets are DPs.
Okay, so but how do you have? That's how they played because that's how they claimed. They claimed the two DPS with I think it's four U22 players. So if that's the
Well, and
same,
they used
which is what they
Campana
did
for that.
last year, if they do that this year, there's no third DP.
Well, I think Campana's gone. He was the main reason why that happened. He's gone. There's must be something that they're
Well,
tweaking around there so they
Campana,
can
they
keep those
bought
guys.
Campana's contract down, so he was no longer a DP.
But wasn't he one of the reasons why they were able to keep four under
That was the
23s?
year before.
Okay, gotcha.
Remember, here's where it gets complicated. They changed the rules in the middle of the season. That's
Right.
where it really gets complicated. They changed those stupid rules in the middle of the season where you claim three DPs, and I think it's I have to
Junior
look it
DP.
up again, but I think it's three DPs and three U22s, or you can go two D. No, I'm sorry, yeah, two DPs, four U22s, and an extra $2 million in GAM. So you get
All
extra
right.
GAM as well.
If you do that, well,
So I don't think they use that third DP. They like going young and having their young kind of Farias type players. I think they could potentially buy down, hopefully, with some of this GAM, buy down Busquets' contract, and there you free your third DP for players like what Chris Arjun is talking about, Neymar, Di Maria, or De Bruyne. So some of the names that are being talked about. So
and
that's
Pogba, they
my
can't
guess.
yeah. But Pogba would probably be under. He probably wouldn't be a DP. I think they'd bring him in,
How old
but
is
he's
he now?
probably getting. Yeah. Well, it's interesting because there's all these guys that they're talking about, but yeah, I don't know how it's gonna happen. Oh no, Vinicius Junior was in my. Oh,
Well, if they're in Miami, we're signing them. That's it. That's the way the
yeah.
rumors work. If they're here, they're ours. We claim them.
Oh yeah. That's
Which is funny because that is part of just being with this team is anytime somebody goes on vacation, they're automatically interested in coming
They
here.
come to Miami. They're gonna stay. Oh, James Rodriguez was another one. See, whatever happened to James Rodriguez?
I don't know. The talk got quiet. It got quiet, and it's not the first time he's been rumored to come here. So
He's probably getting offered more money somewhere else. So
I don't know, but they sometimes these conversations go quiet, and then all of a sudden it happens. So Rick A also feels like Taylor is already confirmed to stay. I read online. Well, they renewed his contract, but that does not mean they can't trade him.
right.
They could sell him to another Eastern Conference team that would drive us nuts. It still could happen. So, something happened. Jay Vasquez is mentioning that Gressel had 12 assists this season and didn't start the last 3 or 4 games of the season. Was second on the team with assists and ranked 17 in the league. Don't get why so many want him off the team. Yeah, I agree but I think it's because sometimes what he does isn't necessarily flashy, and so and people expect that sometimes. But he's a solid team member.
Yeah, he is. But Tata's no longer here. He's not. He was Tata's guy. He was
He
Tata's.
certainly was.
So, and Mascherano might not see it that way. Mascherano wants to bring in his own people. So he's already, he already started chopping off heads. I'm sure he was involved, talking and saying, okay, we can get rid of this guy. I'm going to bring in some other guy. I expect a lot of Argentinians.
Well,
Because
young Argentinians too, because that's the talk around Mascherano, because he was in the Argentinian youth system, that he's very familiar with a lot of these young Argentinian players because he's coached them. He even at one point coached Kramaski for a short time. So, that's the talk, is that he has the inside with the Utes over in Argentina.
Yeah. That's so maybe he could. Maybe you're right, Peter. They'll go with the young thing, keep the two DP thing, and he can bring in some of those hardcore young Argentinians.
Because the the U22 initiative players, smaller cap hit, so it affects your cap less. You're taking a risk, but it's a gamble of, hey, we buy cheap and sell high, right? So that's they're hoping for. So there's some good business reasons, but it's a risk. It is a risk.
Well, and if you think about it, and think Francisco Garcia is saying the price for every Argentinian player is going up. That's true. This, Jorge Mas, he's thinking about making more money. That's what he's good at doing. And this is probably the way to go. He probably thought, okay, Mascherano, he knows the young guys. We're going to get some of those guys and we're going to make money.
And that's part of the argument I've been making. And I think it was an argument or a conversation we were having with Eric Thomas in a chat. I think it was with him that, and this sounds negative, but I think it's true. I think Jorge Mas is more interested. Now, look, I think he wants to win, but I think he's more interested in building a global brand than a quality team. It's more about that branding, because I think in his mind, maybe, I'm guessing, that the wins will come, right? You build a global brand, years later, it's something that you could build upon for years to come, right? So players want to come here. Even once Messi's gone, they want to come here because we have this global reputation. We may not win anything, but we sell a lot of merchandise.
We sure do.
Yeah, right. True.
And everybody wants to come to Miami, so he's just making it more appealing for all these players that want to come here. Hey, we might not win championships, but we look cool in pink.
Yeah, exactly. Let's shift gears a little. I think we talked about that a ton because there was some other news, and it's kind of a nice segue when we talk about gear. And that is, this new jersey is out and is out for sale right now. So we'll talk about the other two shirts as well if we have time, but this is the one that's for sale now. I don't remember ever seeing the new jerseys come out so early. This came out super early. They want to capitalize on every penny immediately. What do we think in the chat? What do you think, Ed, of this away jersey?
I like it, Peter. Anything Inter Miami has so far, it's been all right. I like the look that it's got. I probably will wait a little bit because it's just, it's expensive.
But Ed, you're waiting. If you're waiting for the price to drop, you're waiting until they've already replaced it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Because they don't drop until a new one comes in.
So yeah, I'm gonna wait till the new one comes in and get that. But I'm gonna get them all, but I'm just gonna wait a little bit because they're expensive.
That's fair.
Man. They're not.
That's fair. Nothing wrong with being a year behind or so. I mean, who cares at the end of the day?
Hey, I'm still wearing my Inter Miami jersey.
Hey, look, that's what we're talking about. You want to get a good deal, go to Caneswear. Like we said, they had even before their 50% off deal, they had this shirt for like $30 before. I think it was like $30. I don't know. When I went there some months ago to buy a Christmas present for somebody, or not Christmas, but a present for somebody, they had like year one jerseys. They had the white jerseys. They had, a lot cheap. So yeah, your plan can work. But I at first when I saw this jersey, here's Eric's comments, I guess, I don't know if it's on this jersey, but Eric's comments on jerseys in general, I guess. At first when I saw it, I wasn't sure. At first I was like, I don't know. The more I look at it, I think I like it. It's subtle, the whole dark, the gray and the black. I just wish it did have a little more pink highlights. Like, for example, the ring kind of, let's see if this shows. No, it's not. Oh yeah. My cursor, like the stripes up here, if they were pink, or if the kind of the ringer around the neck would have been pink, I think that would have been nice. Just, or maybe a ring on the bottom of the sleeve. I think just a hair more pink, I think it would have been nice. But overall, it's clean.
Right.
And I do like that.
Like you said, when I first saw it, I was like, pretty plain. But you know what? I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I could wear that. I'm okay with it.
Lemu Ria says, Barcelona 2009 inspiration. Yeah, for sure. I actually have that jersey. It's weird that I have it, but I do. It's a long story. But I got it for free. Mike V feels like both jerseys are great. The black is the best jersey we have ever had. Best jersey ever.
Well, Peter, and another thing, we already have the okay. So that one's going to be the away jersey.
Yeah.
Rumor has it there's also the home jersey that's going to come out, and then I just saw, and that's the segue right there.
It's already for sale. It looks like somewhere.
And Peter, and if you think about it, there's also another one that they're talking about.
We'll get to that one. Let's do one at a time. What do we think about this one? So this is the authentic, because I was looking at two different ones, and you could tell the difference between the authentic and the replica. Basically, the replica does not have the kind of striping around the neck up here. It's just more solid. So the neck is a hair different. What do we think about this Argentina national team replica?
But in pink. I was gonna say that too. It looks like Argentina, but it's pink. I'll probably get it, Peter.
I like it. I don't have a problem with it looking like the Argentina national team, because every jersey looks like some other jersey. There's only so many varieties of shirts out there. Everybody's done some, like you could say Metro Stars back in the day. New York Metro Stars had a jersey like this. It was just red and black. The Five Stripes, Atlanta, have that same kind of jersey. So, I mean, but here, this is what I agree with Kata. I don't think they'll do it, but I agree with him. I want to see, this is killing me. The black shorts.
Yeah, I agree.
I think everything's big because there was a show where you weren't here, so I made everything big to fill space. I love that kind of look of, well, here's the thing. If it was all the time, if they were always wearing like pink top, black shorts, then I would want a solid. But I like changing it up. I think this shirt with black shorts would look amazing.
Yeah, it would look good.
I don't think they're going to do it.
It'll look very Argentina, because Argentina did the blue. They're
true
the blue one,
true
like that one, and they wore a dark short, and it looked good.
True.
It would look good.
If they really do want to copy Argentina, black shorts.
Yeah, will look good, I think.
So right off the bat, now they're supposed to be coming out with a third kit as well, from what we hear, and we haven't seen any leaks on that, the third kit, because what we're going to talk about next is not a kit. But based on what we've seen so far, I'm a one jersey a year kind of guy, because they are expensive. I don't like to wait like Ed, because I'm impatient. So I'll overpay. But I'll probably get this one. Unless I see the third kit and I'm blown away by the third kit. But I'd probably get this one. And then I have a conundrum of who do I put up on the back. I'm not getting Messi. I already have one Messi jersey. And I'm not every shirt being Messi. No, maybe Suarez. Then, because there's always the concern of like, I could get Kremovsky, for example, young up and coming player. I like doing that. I like doing the young up and coming, but he could be gone next year too, or he could be gone this year. So you never know. Everybody's up for sale. But so you were also talking about this one, Ed, which some people thought might be a jersey as well, but apparently Adidas has a line that they're calling retro. I saw like a Real Madrid one from this that was like black and white or gray and white, something like that. So this was just like a fan jersey.
Okay, well that's good, because it's a little plain in my opinion. But
I like it.
It looks like a training jersey is what it looks like.
It does look like a training, but you jazz it up by, think about this. If you put the number right in the middle, see, they would put the Royal Caribbean logo right there in the middle, and that would fill that empty space.
Yeah.
They would put the anchor right there. That would if it was a jersey, but it's not. It's just they're calling it a t-shirt, a shirt. There's a collection. Apparently there's like 3 or 4 items that are coming out, but this is the only one that's been leaked as of this. I do like the fact that they're not putting the logo on there and they're only using the birds. I think that's kind of cool. I like using the tertiary mark. Here, Chris Arjun talking about who I should get on the back of my jersey. Let's put Moss on the back. I like what Mike V said. Mike V says, I'm putting Campana on my new jersey with the number 9 as a sub. Number 9, Campana. Come on, let's go.
There you go.
I don't have to do it. I already did it. Baldwin thinks that Kremoski should play more in 2025. You would think. You would hope.
Look at Bright.
Yeah. Eric Thomas is a good idea, but I'm putting Bright on my. But so I'm scared now of putting a player on back of my jersey and he's gone. Like okay, you put a player's name on the back of the jersey. It's always like a short term thing, right? They're never going to play forever. It's very rare that you have like a Dan Marino situation where you play your whole career in one team. But at least give me a couple of 2-3 seasons of value with that shirt. The safe way is to always do what Uncle Ed does and put Uncle Ed 69 on the back of his shirt. That's the safe thing because, you're not going anywhere.
Oh, no. I got one of them. Yeah, the first pink jersey. I made the mistake of washing it, so now it's all. I'm still going to wear it, Peter. I don't care.
Yeah. But Bright's a good one. Eric Thomas saying Bright's a good one.
And I think he's staying for a while. Like that, he's already a fan favorite. He did so well this year. He got hurt for a little bit, but yeah, I think he's probably gonna stick around.
And he fits. He's got Argentinian background. Mascherano already knows him. He fits the guidelines. Theo Lewis from Chicago asks, why don't you get a jersey with your last name on the back? So that's what Uncle Ed does. Well, not his last name, but he puts his name on. I always feel weird. Like, I'm not playing. I'm not on the field. So I feel weird putting my number on the back, my name and number.
You should do it. What number would you put, Peter?
What number?
Yeah.
So, when you go buy a jersey in Brazil, that's off the streets, right? It's just like all the knockoffs. They will generally don't have a name on the back, at least the ones I've seen. But they all have the number 10 because that's like the generic number. That's the one. That's the coolest number. So I go Brown 10 and say, screw you, Messi. But I don't know. I always feel weird putting because I don't play. Here you go. Kata's get Robbie Robinson on the back. There you go.
My goodness.
Let's do the players that were kind of like failures. Baldwin is thrown. Wow. Baldwin says, I think we are safe from Uncle Ed trade to Alcala, right?
Yep, that's not happening.
I think we're safe now, right?
Yeah, my daughter actually moved back to South Florida, so we're good.
Yeah. I'm up in Ocala more than Ed at this point because my dad lives up there. Yeah. Baldwin saying you can always get number 23. What? Get Beckham 23 on there? No. And I've got some jerseys that are just blank, right? I just left them blank, but I do like. I mean, it looks empty. You want the color on the back. So. Anyways.
I think the only one I have that's white. No, I think all of them. I know I do have no. I got all of them except the new ones right now.
Yeah, Eric is saying put Beckham on the back. No, Beckham doesn't play for the team. He's not a player.
Yeah, for that case, put downtown in the back, Peter.
Downtown? What? Downtown, okay, what number would you give me then, Ed?
I'd put a 10 right there, just because.
Just because?
Yeah.
Downtown. That sounds stupid, though.
Downtown Peter Brown.
It's one of those things where if you know, right? But it's stupid.
Downtown and 10. And everybody's going to be, hey, downtown.
Here you go. Sports Short says, breaking news. 69, Uncle Ed has been traded to the Sounders for $100,000. Would you take that, Ed? Would you move to Seattle for $100,000?
I'll take it, Peter. It's $100,000.
See you later.
give me that.
I'm out.
Oh, that coat. What's it? Is it green? Whatever it is they wear.
Yeah, but, and then you'll just have to deal with some rain and some cold and all that kind of stuff. Well,
but if I ever score against Inter Miami, I will never celebrate.
Never celebrate. Never celebrate. Will Campana celebrate when he scores against us? Not if. When he celebrates.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out. Well, we might find out. Maybe we won't.
Yeah. All right, Ed. That pretty much wraps it up. I think we had a lot of fun. This was good. I missed this. It's been a tough couple of weeks, so thanks everybody for having some fun with me, and of course with Ed. But just speaking for myself, it was needed. So that's good. Thank you to everybody in the chat. You guys make it amazing. Ed, are we doing Spanish shows?
Yeah, well, I've got to talk to Marco about it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to call him right now to see if he wants to do it. I might be able to do it now. Things are going to start slowing down. Well, not
after Christmas,
just yet.
Yeah,
but maybe I'll be able to do it tomorrow. I'm not sure yet.
All right. Well, keeping in mind it's the busy season, Ed, delivers some things for a living, and it's busy right now. So, here Eric there is a delay. So, downtown Eric says downtown is your name, Peter Brown. It's on your birth certificate. Isn't Eric Thomas the one that gave me that name?
He was the one. I remember it. We were trying to think of good nicknames because he was saying, "How come Uncle Ed gets a nickname?"
Right. I think Eric Thomas gave me that. So he was obviously an MTV Downtown Julie Brown fan, right?
There you go. That's what got it from.
Yeah. You got to be older to get that reference. But hey, everybody, thanks so much for watching. It was a lot of fun. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Hopefully you have a great one. We plan to be back next week as well, and we'll talk about maybe did Inter Miami provide us any Christmas gifts? Will there be any new Christmas presents under the tree from Inter Miami in the between now and next Sunday? We'll see, right? Hopefully.
I got this hat, Peter Brown, from Inter Miami, by the way.
Oh, okay. I got
this season ticket thing. Yeah, hat.
Does it say season ticket member anywhere?
It does not say it anywhere, Peter Brown.
It should. It should say it on the side. It should say season ticket. Like this says season ticket member. That shirt should, because right now all it does is it looks like a generic Inter Miami hat. It doesn't show that it's special in any way.
They should have said season ticket. You're right. On the sides, right here. Season ticket, season ticket holder.
At least on one side. It should have said it. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody.